welcome to Soul Purpose. My name is Sofia Martinez, creator of the Embodied Soul Method. And today I want to talk about the hidden cycle that makes you return to old patterns. This is something that I have discovered through my own personal journey and also versions of the same cycle that I'm going to share about with the clients, other people that I work with. And so, have you ever made a decision that maybe to question that decision and doubt that decision only hours later or weeks later? Maybe it's the first time, or maybe finally you set a boundary, maybe finally you spoke your truth, maybe finally you chose yourself. And now instead of feeling a sense of expansion, of empowerment, of freedom, it's the opposite. You're doubting yourself. And this is your nervous system simply adjusting to a new way of being. The discomfort that you're feeling is the releasing of an old pattern, an old way of being that kept you safe for a very long time. And so I want to move you through the cycle so you can recognize while you're in it. So let's say you set a boundary. And now you're feeling guilt. I'm gonna bring it closer so you can actually see. So now you're feeling guilt. That's the first step. And guilt, what it does is asking, what if I made a mistake? And so here you're asking yourself, okay, maybe I made a mistake. And this is simply saying that you did something wrong. And there's the sensation that you did something wrong because for a very long time, what kept you safe was the other way of being. Maybe saying yes, maybe pleasing, maybe validating, maybe being the mediator, maybe keeping the harmony. And so, of course, it's going to feel like you did something wrong when you're doing something that you haven't been doing because your nervous system rather be in the discomfort of the familiar instead of the freedom of the unfamiliar. And so the second layer is shame. And shame what's gonna do if I did something wrong, then maybe there's something wrong with me. There's something wrong with me. And so understanding that this is how also the pattern was created. As a child, if you find yourself with caregivers that they were perhaps not consistent in love, then naturally the child is not gonna think, okay, there's something wrong with my parents, and let's shift the energy of wrong and right. Okay, these caregivers are not able to provide a stable safety within myself. So instead, that's not within the capacity of a child. So the child naturally is going to think, okay, there's something wrong with me that I need to fix so my caregivers are happy. And so that's beginning to create that adjustment of who you are. Maybe, as I said, you were the mediator, maybe you were the clown, maybe you were whatever, the perfectionist, so you weren't making mistakes and so on. So this is how the pattern was created, and this is how the pattern is you're unraveling the grip of the pattern. And so the first is guilt, then comes shame. The third, oh my God, okay, here. I'm gonna change this. The third is fear. And fear is gonna show up in different ways for you. For me, for example, it was all about, guilt. I am doing something wrong. I am hurting somebody. And shame was all about I'm not a good daughter. And then fear was the fear of, okay, when I make this decision and I take this choice, the consequence is going to be retaliation. Maybe for you is, I'm gonna lose belonging. I'm gonna lose love connection. I'm gonna uh, be rejected. I am gonna feel like I lost value, and so on. So fear is gonna look a different way, but what fear is saying, what is the consequence? So then from this action, so now what? And understand this fear has always existed. The fear of losing love, the fear of being rejected, the fear of not of losing belonging, that fear always existed. It's not that it's now. This fear is what originated the pattern. And these are simply layers. We're going deeper and deeper into the layers of the pattern. They're going to start revealing itself. And so after fear, there comes doubt. See if you can see that. And doubt is going to say, okay, what if I over exaggerated? If I am exaggerated, doubt is going to say, okay, maybe it wasn't that bad. Doubt is going to say, okay, I should probably apologize. Doubt is going to say, okay, maybe I'm being selfish. And so, how doubt is showing up is in the way that you learn to manage that fear and the way that the pattern still was created. And so, what if I made something wrong? So I made a mistake. Shame. Okay, if I did something wrong, then there's something wrong with me. Fear. What's going to be the result, the consequence of this action? And so their doubt, in a way, what he's doing is trying to justify why you shouldn't take the aligned action that you're taking right now. Apologize, maybe you're exaggerating. So it's undermining what is your truth, what you are feeling. And that's the way you learn to be okay with what was happening. And so how the program, the compensation was created. And so remember that your nervous system is simply this pattern, is not who you are. It's a way that you learn to survive. So it's just simply a way that you learn to keep yourself safe. And so your nervous system has to learn, you're teaching your nervous system that this new way of being is safe, that this is true safety, being loyal to who you are, speaking your truth, setting a boundary, choosing yourself, that is true safety. And so at the beginning, it's going to feel uncomfortable. There's going to be moments of grief because you are releasing, and in a way, you're killing an old way of being that kept you safe for a very long time. And on top, you're resurfacing or unraveling a pain that already existed, and this pattern was covering it up. But as long as you continue abandoning yourself, not setting that boundary, not speaking that truth, not choosing yourself, all that energy that was supposed to be expressed in the safety, in creating that safety, you're keeping it inside, and it's creating conflict inside of yourself and with yourself. And so this is going to show up in different ways for you. Like maybe the shame is going to show up different, the fear and the doubt. But the cycle in a way is universal. What I want to share to you is that instead of asking the question, what if I did something wrong? What if I made a mistake? The question that I want you to start asking is, where am I feeling unsafe? Because when you're stepping into living your truth, living from your authenticity, from your integrity, from what is true and alive for you, from your heart, and remaining loyal to your heart, that discomfort is gonna trigger danger and threat. So instead of focusing that you did something wrong that is going to keep you in the old way of being, in the pattern, you're asking and you're focusing on, okay, where in all of this, what part of me feels unsafe? Because then you can reparent yourself that part. And the way you're going to do it is I'm going to invite you to, once you find out, okay, there's this part of myself that feels unsafe. Okay, I want you to place both feet on the earth. You can sit down or stand. Just give yourself, create a beautiful container of, if you're only gonna need 5 minute stops. Place one hand on your heart center, the other one on your belly. Close your eyes or open your eyes, staying focused on the horizon. And take a deep breath in, bringing all the air into your lower belly and your heart. Connect with the power of love within you. And I want you to give that love to yourself. As you're connecting with your heart, activate your heart and give that love to yourself. And I want you to now connect an intention, the love all around you. And when you start feeling both, the power of love within you and the power of love all around you, I want you to open your awareness and just open space, witness any emotion that comes up. Maybe it's guilt, maybe it's shame, maybe it's fear, maybe it's doubt, and just provide that love. Just witness the emotion of guilt, the emotion of doubt, of shame, of fear, and give it love. Witness it with love. And provide that love within you and all around you. Inhale and exhale. If emotions come up, just let it flow. If a story comes up in your head, just release it and focus on the sensation. Okay, where is the shame in my body? Is it in my stomach? Where is the guilt? Is it in my throat? Where is the doubt? Is it in my chest? Fear? And just go into that area and give that love into that area. And repeat, I am safe. I belong to myself. I am teaching my body that my truth is safe. I stand in the love that I am. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. And when you're ready, just gently come back. If you feel like you want to journal and just bring anything out, if you want to go for a walk in nature, if you want to have a bath, do something nurturing for yourself to continue cultivating and telling your body that it's safe to stand in your own truth. And so the more you continue trusting your own truth and cultivating that safety, the more you cultivate that love within yourself, that safety within yourself, naturally empower love, you start to feel it more and more in your life. You start to feel more and more of yourself because you're remaining loyal. You no longer abandoning yourself in order to belong. You belong to yourself. And that's what you're learning, to belong to yourself by speaking your truth, by setting those boundaries, by choosing yourself. And so I hear you in the comments, sending you lots and lots of love. If you want to continue this journey on my one-on-one mentorship, 3 months mentorship program, The Path, you can go online on my website, www.sophiasoulpurpose.com. Big love to you. I'll see you on the next video.